All right, welcome to another episode of Chalk Talk Basketball Edition. Got my band coach Tech Lewis on. How you doing, coach?
Doing good, doing good. Getting ready for tomorrow night.
Hey, yeah, you guys open up at Frederick, a tough opener for the start of the season.
You know me, I wouldn't like any other way.
Hey, just throw them right in the fire, right?
I think we
Put
always in the fire, it seems like.
'em- yeah, put you right in the fire. What year is this? What season is this for you? You're a vet now.
Yeah, 11 years, man, 11 seasons.
11
Um,
seasons.
yep, 12 total at Jefferson. Was on a JV for 1 year before we started here at the head position. I think you was here, what, three or four?
Yep, 3 years. Yeah,
Yep. So
absolutely.
yeah, time goes fast, man.
Time definitely goes fast. Crazy. I just started my fourth season at Florida Tech. So it's
Yeah, you were there longer than you been was at Jefferson. That's
yep,
crazy.
exactly, which is crazy. So I mean, you've come a long way with the program. You've built the program from not winning many games to coming off back-to-back state appearances. And so tell me a little bit about the journey and what it's like now coming into the season having expectations
Yeah,
to go back down the road.
feels good, man. Feels good. I had to correct you on that. It's been three years.
Oh, 3 year, you're right too. You were right. 3 years in a row.
Make sure I fix that one. I don't want. I know some people want to say, "Hold up, I thought they went 3 years in a row." So got to
No,
make
absolutely.
sure. Yeah. So we're trying to go for the four-peat, get back there and hopefully win a state championship. But just talk about the journey, man. It's been good. You was here in 2016, around 2016 and 18, and we had some up and down times. But overall, I think we've been consistent. I don't think the message has changed over the last 10 years. Just the players and the coaching staff some, but I think the message has been the same. We've always kind of went to work about the same way. Um, we use toughness, conditioning. We're going to work hard. Style of play might change a little bit here or there, but for the most part, like I said, the message has been saying we're gonna get to work every single day, and make sure we put some good young men out in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, first year with the loss to GW in the first round, and then second year won the first round game, lost to Parkersburg South, right? And
Yep.
then last year won a big time game against GW in the first round, and lost in the second round. So you guys have seen that Final Four 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So I know you are chomping at the bit to get back there and get you a sniff of that championship game. But I think the expectations is good to, you know what I mean, to actually have those expectations going in rather than the opposite of, going into a season and not being expected to win. So there's no complaints there, right, coach?
Now it's funny you said that. I got a text earlier because the coaches poll came out and the AP poll came out, and they got us fifth. And I got a text earlier from my old assistant, and he said it's funny how you look at the polls now and you consistently in the top five or whatever
Yeah.
over the last year. So it got to be a great feeling. I was like, it's always a great feeling when you're anywhere in the top 10. But I remember those days when we never looked at the polls when the polls came out. So it's something that we expect. And I told him, I said, the weird thing about it, you're not happy where you're at now. You get ranked third or fourth or fifth, you want to be number one. So that's kind of the goal that we're striving to. How can we get that number one spot and keep it all year, and then finish the last team instead of being upset? Because at the end of the year, it's only going to be one team that's not upset. It's not having tears. It's not having pains or second guessing what they should have did. So it's only going to be one team. So you want to be that one team this year.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of goals, any other goals for the season? I mean, I know the ultimate goal, but clearly you've got a different team now. You've lost some big
Mm-hmm.
each year. You lose big pieces. You lost Cam 2 years ago, and
Yep.
you lost Dayon, and now this year you're losing Will and some other guys. So what is the goal for your team this year?
Our biggest thing right now is just chemistry. We've have the oldest team that we've had since a long time. I can even think of. We never had this many seniors on a team. We got 9 seniors this year, so we got to the point where our program is pretty steady as far as consistent players being consistently here and growing through the program, going through 4 years from JV to varsity and staying. And we got some guys that's returning. When I mean chemistry, we got some football guys that one hasn't played at all with us, and then one's returning. He hadn't played in 2 years, so we've had that the last 2 years as well. So we're trying to get the chemistry. I think that's going to be our biggest challenge, having those guys mesh. We also have a couple people come back from injuries. Didn't play last year. Like another player that played JV 2 years ago as well. So you're looking at about 4 or 5 guys who haven't played varsity basketball in the last 2 years. So that's going to be and they're probably going to be key pieces for us too. So that's going to be something that we have to work through. But I think the biggest goal right now with us is chemistry. We have some good returners that everybody knows about, but having that supporting cast is important.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been doing a great job of helping me segue as I've already got this whole thing scripted out. And you say goals, and then that was the what I wanted to transition to. And now you use the word returner. So I want to talk about a returner that you thought maybe wasn't returning, that did return, and Jamari Jenkins. So Mari is back. What was that? What's that feeling like having somebody of his talent level come back to the program after you thinking that maybe you were going to be coaching without somebody like him?
Yeah, it's definitely good. Definitely good. Whenever you got somebody at Jamari's talent and leadership on the court and off the court, it's always something glad to have him back. First team all state last year, first team all conference, all tournament 2 years in a row, ninth and 10th grade. So having someone like him is always great. Things happen for a reason. And that's what I tell people. So it was the reason why he's back here with us. So biggest thing is just embracing him with open arms and getting him back in the fold with the team. Like I said, once again, chemistry. Having him back, not expecting him back. We got to get our chemistry together and make sure everybody meshes and gels the right way. But I don't think he'll have a problem. It's just making sure that we have all these new pieces come together.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jefferson over the last few years have been, well, I mean, undersized. And that's been just a situation that you've had to deal with, especially going down Charleston and things like that. Do you consider your team this year still undersized? I know you still got guards like Mari, and then you've got Tayshawn, you've got Kylan, you've got JG, who are, considered undersized when it comes to height and things like that. So, you've been dealing with that for years. How do you prepare knowing what you're going to see in Charleston, to get a team of that size ready to win it all?
Luckily, this is high school and not college or NBA, so we won't see consistently like those 6'10", 6'11", 6'9", 6'8" guys on a consistent basis. But I think we have some bulk this year. I think we have a little bit more bulk than we've had in the past. We might not have height, but I think we got bulk. Looking at Wyatt, of course, everybody knows what he can do inside and outside, rebounding. But I think Quentin Goins is going to help us a lot. He's about 6'3", 250. Really good athlete. Jared Wilberg is back. He's about 6'4", about 240. So I think those guys, we got a couple other guys, Ronan, we call them Sunshine, they can rebound with the best of them. So I think we have a different type of team. But I think overall, and our guards have always been undersized. We don't really have that 6'3", 6'4", 6'2" guards. Our guards normally run about 5'8" to 5'11", maybe 6 feet. So, but they play a lot bigger than they look. So we know playing small college basketball, being around small college basketball, sometimes you have those type of teams, even at that level, that can compete on the highest level. So I've seen it before. We go like 3 guards a lot. Sometimes we'll go a little bigger in times this year, but mainly we'll stay with a three guard rotation.
Sure. So, speaking of Wyatt, expecting Wyatt to have a big year this year. Wyatt
Mm.
had a great camp at my camp this summer, and he just seems comfortable out there on the court, and he's kind of stretched his game out a little bit. Playing a little inside out. He's tough. Plays way bigger than he is height wise. Who else on the roster are you expecting to have a big season? Maybe that we don't know about besides the Jamaris and the JGs.
Besides Gladney and more, we got Colin Johnson, who's our fourth leading scorer last year. Definitely expecting his numbers to increase. I think he averaged about 7.5 for last year, points a game off the bench. So looking for a lot more from him this year, especially him being a senior. Tayshaun Roper always give us a defensive presence on the perimeter. So he started pretty much every game last year for us. Looking for him to expand his offense as well. Ty Vickers, who had a big state tournament and playoffs last year, he'll definitely provide us with some outside shooting. And we got some other players. Adonis Trox will be back off an injury. He hasn't played since his sophomore year. Like I said, I mentioned Jared and Quentin as well. We have some other guys. Caleb Connor, he can step up for us. He's a senior, hadn't played in a couple years. Mar Wallace, he's another one. They can come off the bench and score some points in bunches. Takeem Drake, he's a sophomore, looking for some big things from him. So we got, I think I told the guys we probably just as deep as we were in 2021.
Yeah.
We can go multiple ways. 2021, we had a lot of seniors that came off the bench and provided some sparks for us. We had a baseball player provide some sparks for us. So we had a lot of different players. We went around 10 or 11 deep that year. So I think we're probably right around that this year. Maybe even deeper though. We're carrying 15 right now. And we got to the point, like I said, we've had our JV. I think our JV carries like 17, and we carry 15. So we got to the point where we got pretty much all our sophomores on JV and freshmen. So we only got one sophomore on varsity, and the rest of the team is juniors and seniors. So we got to that point where we got pretty much a veteran team.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you mentioned earlier in the interview about the coaching staff being a little bit different. So we do know that you do have a new addition, two new additions actually to your coaching
Yeah,
staff, but with Don Bullitt being one of them, and Don is just a absolute vet and staple in the community back in the Eastern Panhandle with what he's done as a player, coach, his family, things like that. What's it been like having somebody with that type of experience being your right hand man?
yeah, definitely. Definitely good to have Coach Bullitt on board. If you can get somebody on your staff that has over 30 years experience, and then also he's one of the few coaches in the Eastern Panhandle who's had an undefeated season as well. So trying to team up with him is going to be being interesting. I think we've meshed pretty good over the last couple of weeks and over the last 6 months because he's with us in the summertime as well. But yeah, definitely having somebody with that type of experience on your staff can only be an asset. It can never be a negative. So looking forward to not just the beginning of the season, but future. I'm working with Coach Bullitt. I think he's going to provide, especially for our bigs, he's going to provide a lot of coaching there, and also the development of our bigs. In the future and this year, and also say wealth of experience. He can coach offense, defense. He can scout, watch film, he can break film down, all those things. He's a jack of all trades. And I'm glad to have him. We've also added Tony Puller, who's been a JV coach at Washington, middle school coach at South, and then Will Fleming's back for his third year as well. So we got a new staff, but definitely excited to have those guys aboard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been times where you've been by yourself,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and things like that. And now you
I,
got three people.
And I told him that too. I said, "Hey, if I go too long, just say something because I used to be here by myself sometimes."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely. Cool. We're gonna switch gears. So we've got a new segment now that we're gonna call it the hot seat, right? So I'm gonna
oh,
fire off some questions that you don't know about. So
okay.
and you get to answer those. First question for you. Mambo sauce or hot sauce?
Mumbo sauce, DC baby.
Don't
Gotta have.
matter what type of hot sauce it is.
I gotta have wings and mumbo sauce from the carry out in DC. That's our thing.
Flats or drums?
Drums.
You
Gotta
all,
have.
so are you one of those? Are you gonna ask for all flats, or you just hope you just like the flats better?
I like the drums better, but I'll eat flats. But
Oh.
drums, I gotta get. If I have my choice, I like to go 70-30 drums and flats.
70-30. All right. Best point guard of all time.
I got a couple of different answers.
Okay.
In the pros, Magic Johnson, of course. In college, the point guard I liked the most in college was Kenny Anderson growing up. So
Okay.
those are my two answers. And those are the two I enjoy watching the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Man or zone?
Always man. Actually, you know what's funny about that? Even in Pee Wee League, like Little League, growing up in DC, we never played too much zone. I never seen. I only played zone like maybe probably like fourth, fifth grade. But I learned man to man like early, like maybe like fifth grade, sixth grade.
Yeah.
So, oh man,
No, absolutely. It's always good to learn those man-to-man principles all the way from the very beginning, for sure. I totally agree. Motion, offense, or pro sets?
once again, motion offense, baby. Always playing the motion. I've been it's been crazy. So played motion in high school and went to college and played the exact same system. Like, and it wasn't even by design because I never seen, I never watched any film of Shepherd back then. So ran a motion offense. Only thing we didn't go is we went five. I was a 5 out in high school. We ran a 5 out motion, and then we went to college and we ran a. Actually, I take that back. Our first year we didn't, but the rest of the 3 years or 4 years I was there, we ran a 4 out one in, four
Yeah.
or five. So yeah, always motion.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you dive into your motion offense, is it you instill principles? And I mean, because obviously there are so many different types of motion offenses. I mean, we see the Princeton offense. I think it's one of the hardest offenses to kind of scout and prepare for because of the read and reaction type of deals, and just trying to find tendencies within their principles is always.
So a funny story about that. My first 2 years at Shepherd, we scrimmaged Princeton.
Really.
2 years in a row. Yeah, went to New Jersey and scrimmaged them 2 years in a row. He talking about getting back cutted. Man.
Mm.
We scrimmaged them twice on Saturday and once on Sunday. So we had about 10 quarters one day and another 5 next day. And you talking about getting a lot of backdoor cuts. And I mean, so it's not exactly like a Princeton. It's more fluid. Nothing really set. So it's kind of harder to I guess predict. But those pretty much the principles where you don't have a lot of restraints on what you can do.
Absolutely. NBA or college?
College.
Wow.
I rarely watch NBA games, playoffs. So, but I enjoy the NBA. But college is more of the I think the more for purists. You know what I mean? If you want to watch pure basketball, you want to watch college. NBA has a lot of different rules, so it doesn't really translate to a lot of things rule wise. But if you want entertainment, definitely NBA. But the purists are going to always go with college basketball. You can't beat March Madness in college in the ACC tournament and Big East tournaments. Those are the time of the year where you got to watch TV, you got to watch every game. So always college basketball.
Absolutely. Up three, do you foul?
Up three, how much time left?
Say 10, 10,
that's,
10
that's the
seconds.
question.
10
The
seconds.
big question. I don't have a big team.
Yeah.
So about 15, 20 seconds left. I don't know about that one. If it's under, let's say this, if it's under 10 or 8, it's a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was telling Ryan earlier, we went to the Lando Magic coaching clinic. So they had a few
Mm-hmm.
college coaches there, and it was a cool clinic because the floor was open. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
out and talking. We had different stations, and they would have a staff member there along with a few college staffers, and we had a topic, and then we just discussed open forum and asked questions and things like that. And this question came up, and they said that 7 seconds or less for this entire season they're fouling. So they make a decision before the season starts that this is going to be our rule. That way, it's not a whole bunch of back and forth and
Yeah,
guess things like that. So they decided that 7 seconds or less up three, they're going to foul. So I guess at the end of the season, they'll pull the analytics, decide whether
it
they're going
makes sense.
to, yeah, if it's, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
But I think when I think about that, if I ask you how much time was left, because I think I was in my head was 8 seconds. Like
Yeah.
so, 7 seconds, I got to start thinking about. I probably need to think about fouling. Anything over that is kind of tough.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
still got time to go down the other end on fouls and come back
Yeah.
um, and get a shot. So you
Yeah.
still might.
Can't go too far. Yeah. Absolutely. Call it. Last question. Transfer portal, college transfer.
Which
How you
which one?
college? That's why I said that.
Which one? West
No,
Virginia?
you ain't you know, Carlson already did his dance with the transfer portal questions in high school. I'm not touching that one.
No, I wasn't gonna touch it either. I had to throw that out there. Which transfers portal? Because we got several ones. But college, I don't like. I like it for the freedom. And I like it for the exposure. So it gives guys, who play. Let's say you play D2. Just to use that as an example. You play Division II basketball and you outperform your expectations or your talent outperforms the school that you're at. It gives you an opportunity now to get recruited all over again by the upper echelon schools, whether it be mid major, low major, or high major D1s. So I do like it for that, and I also like it from a recruiting standpoint that it's not really a farm system, but I like to say if I'm getting overlooked in high school, then I'm not necessarily upset because I can go somewhere and prove, whether it be low D1 or D2, that if I belong in a Power Five, I'll get there somehow. So I like that part because you've seen guys go to low majors or mid majors, and now they average 15, 20 points, and the next year they got an opportunity to go play in ACC. So I like it from that standpoint because I think it helps. It also helps coaches too, who miss it sometimes or they don't get it right. They can go back and fix it sometimes with the recruiting part because you got a lot of guys that get overlooked every year. What I don't like is what I've seen recently. Got guys in the portal, like for Ohio State, the football starting quarterbacks in the portal, and they got a bowl game. They got a top bowl game. I don't understand that stuff right there. Oklahoma's quarterbacks in the portal, so I'm not really sure why that's happening. I mean, guys are in the portal before their bowl games. They're not going to play because they want to transfer. And you kind of let the other guys down. Because my thing is, I'm on that team. It's not going to be good walking around campus for him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
You can't do that to 50-something guys or 100 guys. I think that's the bad part about it. You got guys leaving before the season's over or making moves before the season. I think it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It definitely does go both ways. We've seen a lot of guys just in our conference alone, leave our conference and go Division 1. And then clearly you look
Mm-hmm.
at the conference and we have rosters full of Division 1 transfers. So definitely goes both ways and allows people to have that freedom if they weren't highly recruited out of high school. And with COVID year now, you know what I mean? A lot of the high school kids are getting overlooked, due to having guys that have been in school for 4 or 5, even 6 years, that are in the portal and things like that. And schools are looking at them so they can go to a
Mm-hmm.
now where, junior college may not have been looked at as, going, wanting to go to a junior college because you want to go there. You know what I mean? Some kids are having to go there and then they can, or they can go NAIA or Division 3 or even Division 2 and get their resume together and put themselves back out in the portal. But great answers. Last question for you or last thing for you, anything for the community as you getting ready to get your season started, any messages, things like that. Get ready for J-High basketball kicking off tomorrow.
Just come out and support us. We're going to give it our all every single night. Hopefully, we put in a great show on for the community. One thing we want to make sure we're always doing is making sure we're giving the community a good show when they come out and watch us play. Hard work, dedication, and hopefully great shooting. And the last thing is, just like I said, to support J High basketball any way you can. We had a shoot-a-thon over the weekend, so we're going to be putting that out to the community. So hopefully everyone can donate to J High basketball any way you can. We always can use any help we can, especially making it down to the state tournament.
Absolutely, and we will be there Friday and Saturday covering your shootout. Also, we always thank you for putting together the middle school shootout. I think that you don't get enough recognition for that. That's a big time event, big time thing that you're doing for the middle schools and having teams from all over coming. Spring Valley teams from DC coming in and playing against the local middle schools and things like that. So, thank you for that, and wishing you the best,
Okay.
Coach.
All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Yep.